Great.
So tomorrow night will be Crystal Meth Palace versus Nottingham Forest. Injury crisis left, right and centre. And can Forest capitalise in the capital?
You're just like a poet, aren't you?
I just literally made that up.
That was very poetic, that was.
Was it? It just...
You've been writing that all day, haven't you, that opener?
I have not. I can promise you.
You never made that up on the spot.
I swear to God. I swear to God, these things just come to me. And it's just like every moment, every now and again, a moment of clarity. Post-nut clarity, as Chappie would say. How are you, boys? Hope you're well. Welcome to the match preview. I ain't gonna lie, I'm shattered, man. I don't know if I can hide it from the chat. They can tell these things. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
I'm awake. I'm fine.
Awake. Okay, good. Yeah. I'm not. We've got I don't know if it's Awonyi or if it's Crypto or if it's Why Was Worrell dropped last game or if it's Andy Reid there, because I recognize that signature. But we got a combination of that. How are you, Crypto?
I'm all good.
You still haven't Tipex out that signature?
I'm tempted to wash it, but you know.
What do you mean you're all good? You just spent 10 minutes moaning.
That's true. Well, I've had a nightmare of a week. I'm actually really annoyed about tomorrow because its kickoff is 5:30, right? And at 5:30, I've got to do my landlord checkout on my previous property. So it couldn't be any worse.
Sorry. The bags are real. You got to do your checkout thing.
Yeah, at 5:30. Asked the landlord, can we change it to a different time because the Forest match is on? And she said no. So
come on, where's the treadmill?
Not a Forest fan.
Did the treadmill make it, or did you forget it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about the treadmill. So I moved out last week. Pretty much everything went fine, apart from the stuff in the garage, which I accidentally forgot, which is another story. But the treadmill wouldn't go through the door. What happened was the guys picked it up and the hydraulic system opened the treadmill. So we couldn't get it out the door. So I've had to go back today, hire another lot of guys to basically tie it down and get it out the door. So yeah, it's been a nightmare. It'll still get no use. It's basically sat in the middle of my kitchen at the moment.
The reason you couldn't get it out of the door is because it's put weight on through the lack of use.
God, when I was walking up those steps the other day with Ant to watch the Forest match, I could barely make it. We were sat right on the top row. I started walking home after with Ant, and Ant diverted off to a car park, and I had about 10 minutes to go, and I walked for about 7 minutes, and I thought, you know what, my calves are done here, and I ordered an Uber. And the Uber driver was like, he didn't mind having a trip because I paid him a few quid for it, but he probably drove me for about 20 seconds. My front door.
Well, at least you didn't pop your calves going up the stairs like somebody else in the
yeah, that's true.
In the room.
Yeah. All right. I told you like that in confidence, but fine. Yes, I pulled both my calf muscles climbing the stairs yesterday, and I can't walk right now. I can't walk. My calf muscles are Carlos size, though. I will tell you that now. They are Roberto Carlos like. And how are you, mate? Any aches and pains?
No, a little bit tired, but I'm sure that the chat will soon wake me up. They normally do. So
absolutely. And Brandon with the £5. Thank you so much, bro. Just a huge shout out to Ez, and hope he is okay. So Ez has got some personal stuff going on. He's put a message on his channel. If I could ask you guys, if you get a spare minute, just go show him some love. It's not something we can talk about. It's for him to discuss. But if you go on to FFTV Premier League and just give him some loving messages. He needs all your guys' support at the moment. So thank you, Brandon, so much. We will, of course, pass the message on to Ez. But if you guys don't mind, I know it'll mean the world to him. If you take a quick second, just go over to the community tab on FFTV Premier League and just show him some love on that message. And he'll love you more if you subscribe as well, if you're not already. But yeah, Brandon, thank you so much, bro. We'll make sure that message is passed across. And Ez, we know you'll be watching later. We all love you, bro, and everything will be fine. Okay. So, boys, tomorrow, Capital, Crystal Palace, no Eze, no Elise, no one else really, because they haven't got anyone apart from Decore, really. Is this a slam dunker? I mean, Dino, yesterday I spoke to the boys on Eagle Eye Cherry, as I call them now. They were down in the dumps. Don't know if you caught it, but they I went from thinking that to now thinking, yeah, they are in the mud, man. What impression did you get of it, Dino?
Yeah, I'm the same, but isn't that the same with every club? You know, sometimes you talk to us and we're down in the mud, and then whoever we're playing's down in the mud for some reason. But yeah, I mean, they're kind of becoming a more established side now, aren't they? But I think we can sneak a win. I honestly do. I think more games we play with this setup and this squad, I think we can sneak a win. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game because we've not really got many goals in us. But, you know, a 1-0 would be absolutely smashing.
But where's your confidence coming from? Is it from Rich and JC, or is it because
mainly alcohol? No, without seeing that, I'd still like to think that we're getting better. I think I saw, a commentator said on Steve Cooper's pre-match that we let in 7 more goals at the same time last season, but we've played much harder opponents. So I think we are slowly getting better. It's not like a overnight transformation.
I don't agree with that. I mean, when we played Man City were red hot last season, and so were Arsenal. Arsenal, didn't they? Or no, best. Weren't Arsenal like undefeated for the first like 2 months of the season or something stupid like that?
No, they lost to Man U, but they shouldn't have lost to Man U. But apart from that, they got 50 points in the first 19 games, which means, you know, it's I think 5 points they dropped or something in the first 19 games.
Yeah, I get the sentiment from the question. I saw it as well. We got the presser on the channel. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out after this. But I get what he's saying, but there is progress. But honestly, and are we still a little toothless? Because another question that came up was, don't you think you should be scoring more goals, Cooper? Have we kind of gone the other way a bit? Or is the imbalance still not quite there? What do you think?
Well, funny enough, I was talking to my brother about this earlier on, and it's something that nobody's really talked about, and it's almost sacrilege, but I've got to say, Taiwo has not been fantastic the last 2 or 3 games. You know, when he was going on that fantastic, magnificent running streak, he seemed to be all over the place. He was here, he was there, he was fast, he was getting involved, he was putting defenders under pressure. I've not really seen that the last couple of games. It seemed, whether he's isolated, it's not his fault, maybe, but it just doesn't seem to have the same sort of zip as he had previously, where he looked like he was going to score every game. The last few games, he's not looked like he's going to score. So it is a concern. Hopefully he'll get his mojo back. I think he's okay. I don't think he's like mentally sort of lacking in confidence or anything. I just think that he's not quite as sharp as he was. If he can get back to his best, then obviously that increases our chances of scoring goals. And really, apart from Taiwo, we don't have a lot of goal scorers in our side. So
I get what you're saying.
I guess it's inevitable.
But I'm going to go to the Taiwo brigade here with Crypto. Are you going to take that on Taiwo? Do you feel there's been a dip in form? I don't know if I agree with that. Chat, do you agree with that?
I think there's been a dip in balls being fed through to him. It doesn't look like he's getting the same service as he was a few games ago. I mean, if he's not getting the passes played through to him, then obviously it's going to look like his form is dipping. I don't know. It's a tough one because I personally have never really liked the single striker route. I like to see more attacking formations, like a 4-4-2, for example. It is tough if you're the sole striker, and there must be a lot of pressure on him because, like someone just said in the chat, the backup is kind of Wood, maybe a Rigi, but he's always been known as a super sub. Strikers dip in and out of form. I mean, look at Haaland. He seems to dip in and out of form. You know, during a match, he'll score 2 or 3 of his chances, and then he'll miss some easy ones. So yeah, I think he'll come good again, but I feel like the whole kind of tactical setup has changed in the last few weeks. We've gone from kind of ultra low block to almost trying to attack. The formation's changed, and it's going to take a bit of time for the team to gel. I like what Cooper's done in the last few weeks, but I do think with all these new signings again, it's almost like the team has to gel again. Taiwo's got to find the person who's going to feed the ball through to him. In the match last week, in the first half, a lot of the balls were coming from the wing. I don't think that's the best thing for Taiwo. I think he prefers to go through the middle. Whereas in the second half, when they changed it up and they took the wingers off, they also took Taiwo off. And then Wood came on. But Wood is better when balls are being crossed in. So for me, it was almost like it was the wrong way around.
Inverted, yeah.
You say he's better with balls could be crossed in, but he doesn't jump. Wood's the only tall bloke that I know that doesn't jump. And he needs to learn to jump. He'll be a great striker.
He's already made his 19 million worth scoring against Man City.
And Sheffield.
I tell you what, he's better than Andre Ayew, and I know his brother's going to be playing against us tomorrow, and they're both crap. So I'd rather have Wood over any of the Ayew brothers.
Bro, that's like comparing, shit to diarrhea, man. It's like, what kind of comparison is that, man? I thought you were going to come up with a gem or something, man. Seriously. But I just want to bring up this point that NFFC is really, really passionate about. Why is Elanga always on the right? He likes it off the left. Which in turn, I assume NFFC, you would be thinking that Hudson-Odoi should play on the right. And I just want to come to you this one because you were impressed with Hudson-Odoi first half last week against Brentford. Do you see any legs in what NFFC is saying? Because I did say at half time they should have switched him over just because I didn't think we were getting in. Yeah, and you said the same thing.
Yeah.
But do you think Elanga is worth having a shout out on the left-hand side? Because he did well when he was there at Arsenal, against Arsenal, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, although I say that, and I do think, yeah, let's try him on the side. I got to admit, I don't know a lot about Hudson-Odoi on the right. Okay, I don't know a lot about that. I've always seen him as a left-sided player. And he is obviously right-footed, Hudson-Odoi, so he will cut in. Is he like left-footed? Is he like left-footed?
Right.
And they're both right-footed. So again, so if we were to take, so we've got one, whichever way round you have them, we have one inverting and the other one hopefully going down the line. The disappointment with Elanga on whatever day it was against Brentford, Sunday, is he didn't take his man on anyway. He didn't go either way. He just passed it back. So I don't think it made a particular difference. If you're not going to take your man on, it doesn't matter. So I suppose if he was on the left, he could invert, couldn't he? You said he's right-footed,
Yeah, they're both right-footed. You know who was left-footed?
When a player's got pace, for me, his best attribute is to push that ball past the defender and run. That's not what you do when you're playing as an inverted winger. So I don't know how effective he would be on the left, being inverted.
Scarpa would have been effective.
Yeah,
because he's left-footed as well. Yeah,
we've got to let that go. Good time.
It's just like a reflex answer, isn't it? It just has to come out. Yeah.
I do agree.
Yeah. But the debate that's been raging all week, and I'm going to come to Mr. High Press on this one, is the goalkeeper situation. Honestly, like there's been so much revisionism on Turner for me personally over these last 4 or 5 days. And everyone's saying Vlachodimos. And I know Sai, both me and Sai have said Vlachodimos from the start. That's not the point here. But what would you do, Dino, in this situation? It's quite a tense one. He obviously had a stinker. I think we'll all agree on that. And chat, Vlachodimos or Turner? We'll maybe do a poll in a second on it. But would you change it up for this one, Dino?
No, I'd play Turner. I'm a big fan of Turner, and I think he made an absolute howler. But players make howlers every week. You've only got to look at Onana at Man United, and he'll still get a game tomorrow, and he makes howler game after game after game, including this week against Galatasaray. I would stick with him. Obviously, if he has 2 or 3 bad games, then he's got to be dropped. But Vlachodimos, everybody's calling for him. How much does everybody really know about him? He's not great with handling the ball. I'll tell you that much. He's a very good shot stopper, but he's not the best at handling the ball. And I feel much more safer. And I think the defence would with Turner in. So I don't think we should drop Turner now.
But Dino,
if he has
did
another
you
bad
not?
game, then it's like any other player. A couple of bad
But
games.
did you
and
not
he's on the
think?
bench.
Did you not think that mistake then bred into more mistakes, and then potentially the defense looked a little shakier because they were a little bit on edge about Turner? And can that carry over? It's a tough position, the keeper position.
I mean, bad plays and bad. When anybody does anything bad on the pitch, it generally can impact their rest of the game and beyond. Even football's a confidence game. There's not as big a spread of talent as you may think throughout many sides in the Premier League. Obviously, there is a talent gap, but from the Man City to the Sheffield Uniteds. But when players aren't on form, they just can't hit a barn door. You look at Haaland, people are dropping him out of FPL this week because he's just not scoring. So, and he's the best there is. So,
apart from
I'd give him another go. I think it would be harsh if he dropped him just because of that for me. That's just my opinion.
I'd drop him. I think you've got to have confidence in your goalkeeper. Cooper's been changing people around if they haven't had a great game. So if you don't do that with Turner, then it's almost unfair. I think if there's any time to drop him, it would be now. I also want to see what this guy is like. I can't pronounce his name. Big V. Vlachodimos. Yeah, I think some of the new signings have been really good. I mean, Murillo's debut was brilliant for a debut. Bearing in mind that most people have a pretty bad debut, Murillo's was excellent. So it'd be interesting to see him. And I think if he's going to stay consistent, he dropped Worrell, he dropped McKenna for bad performances. Arguably, he dropped Morgan Gibbs-White for having not great performances lately. If Turner performs like that and then you keep him in, I think it may unsettle the team a bit.
If you've done a poll, sorry, Anne, if you've done a poll, you should have done just the turbo because you're going to get the trollers.
I know the trollers, man. The trollers. There's 2% have gone Horvath, who's not even registered. I wanted to see where the trollers are at. And 13% have gone for Hennessy. You know what? I would love it if Cooper started Hennessy tomorrow to see the reaction of those 13%. There'd be a little bit of irony on it. And on this keeper thing, let me ask you this question, seeing that you're more older than us. I was going to say mature, but then that word didn't seem right.
More experienced.
Experience, that's the word. That's the word I'm looking for, right? Do you prefer a goalkeeper who can save the ball, is really good at saving the ball, terrible distribution, or would you rather have a goalkeeper that's just an average, jack of all trades?
Saving the ball, mate. The goalkeeper's got to be able to save the ball. I mean, for me, there's an obsession these days, isn't there? And I understand why. And I'm part of it. We all want a goalkeeper that can distribute the ball well, but that's a fairly recent thing. And I've heard people saying it's a bit like left backs. You get the view, he's not very good at defending, but he's brilliant going forward. No. Defense first. Same with keepers. Their main job is to stop the ball going in the back of the net. If the distribution is not so good, okay, you get players to if you get players to come closer to him and give him a short option, and then the defender can play the ball. Not ideal, but it's an option. But he must be able to save the ball. And my concern with Turner is in the last couple of games, he seems to be getting less and less assured. I like Turner. His story is great. He seems a really nice guy. But you know me, I'm Forest first. And I actually did my due diligence finally yesterday and looked at Vlachodimos. Now, obviously, on YouTube, they're going to show you the 20 world-class saves, the 30.
Is that your due diligence, YouTube?
Well, what else can I do? But he certainly looks good. He certainly looks good at shot stopping. He does punch and parry a lot. But what I did like is very Schmeichel-esque in his coming out. He comes out really quickly and blocks the ball. Uses his feet a lot of times, which is pretty good. And he's good with them from a defending aspect. I saw nothing of his distribution, so I can't pretend to know that. But there again, is Turner a great distributor of the ball? He put, and I'm not exaggerating, I was at the game, so I could tell you, he put 4 on the trot straight into touch. Not from a quick clearance, from a goal kick or from a ball in hand situation. 4 on the trot into the stands. And I thought, if he's been here for his distribution, it's not really working that well.
That's an improvement on Morgan Gibbs-White, though, isn't it? He made 10 passes in a row that go out of bounds.
Wait, he's got the highest percentage. Wait, take that back, Crypto. He has the highest percentage long pass completion in the other 14. There.
Honestly, stats, man. Fuck me.
Can I find a stat for anything? Dino, I want to jump you in just a sec on that. I see you've got a point to make. Just a big shout out to 007 for the 2 Swiss francs. Yes, and guys, please, thank you for the reminder. The FCA, which we've completely forgotten about, the Football Content Awards. Thank you so much for getting us nominated. If you wouldn't mind giving us that final push now that we have been nominated, the link's pinned in the chat. And if you just choose, it's Best Podcast, Premier League, Forest Fan TV for Beat the Drop. We'll love you forever. We didn't think we'd get nominated, so thank you enough in getting us there. Thank you so much for the £2 007. Dino, you were going to come back on something Ant said, I think.
Yeah, we're just there for the party, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
It's a bloody expensive.
I was going to agree with Ant. The primary role of any function is to do what they're paid to do, like goal scorers scoring goals. And I think Ant and I don't know, you probably call us old fashioned, but I don't get these. Oh, he doesn't score many goals, but he works hard. Bullshit. He's in to score goals. So for me, a goalkeeper has got to be primarily a goalkeeper. And the second attribute, other than saving, is confidence and making the defence feel confident. For me, distribution doesn't matter. I'd rather roll it out to one of the better passers. Bring your best passer in deep and let them distribute it, because that's what they do for a living. That's what midfielders do for a living, for example. So for me, distribution, and you see what mess Man United are in with Onana. That's the primary reason they bought him, for his distribution. Because last season they were playing counter-attack football. This season that's gone absolutely tits up, because that's not existing, because teams are not pushing them so deep now.
Yeah.
So counter-attack's dead for them. And this guy, his stats are exactly the same as everybody else's in the league. It's no different in terms of distribution. But his goalkeeping's shocking.
Shocking.
In fact, his passings led to several goals as well.
Well, he passed directly to one of the forwards of Galatasaray.
Manu. We had our fun of Manu earlier on the predictor stream. Yeah, Crypto, as a fellow younger person, right? What's your take on this?
So I think at some point you have to bring the new signings in. You can. The thing is, you don't realise, like, if let's say Aina had never come in and Lodi had stayed, everyone would think Lodi's the best left back, but actually Aina's better. Apart from Wolverine thinking that. Aina's a better player than Lodi, and you don't know this unless you switch the team around. And as a younger person, I think it's quite exciting to bring the new signings in. If there was a point where I change him, it would either be now, after Turner has not had a great performance, or it'd probably be after the international break, which is in a few weeks anyway. But for me, there's a reason we made these signings. I'm guessing he, as a player as well, doesn't want to sit on the bench all season. So there has to come a point where we at least see what he's like. That he didn't need to bring Murillo in last game, for example. He could have played someone he knew, Worrell, McKenna. But there has to be a point where they're given a chance. And against a team like Crystal Palace, who have their best players injured, it could be a good time to do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wolverine, before you say, you two talking about how young you are and how old we are, who's injured themselves this week in doing menial tasks?
I was going to say that.
Who's fit?
You don't walk around in Zimmer frames.
When I was following Ant up to row Z in the stand the other day, I was pacing behind him and he was barely moving.
Hey, listen, I just drank a fucking bottle of beer in one. My belly felt like I had a bowling ball inside it.
Oh my God. You reminded me, when we were at the Brentford game last year, I was sitting next to Ant, and he just kept needing the loo every 5 minutes. And he was like, he almost was like preempting it is like, oh, I haven't gone for the last 7 minutes. I better go now just in case I need the loo again in 5 minutes. It'd be better. What do you think? What do you think, Wilbur? Should I go now? I'm like, mate, make your mind up. Why did I sit on the side towards the exit rather than letting him go there, man? Seriously.
I thought we were keeping this between ourselves.
I'm just saying, Dino wanted to bring it up.
I haven't told you guys.
Brandon's right though. We've got me and Ant's got wheelchairs.
There was no way I was going to the toilet on Sunday because we were on the back row. There's no way I was walking down there and back again.
So on Sunday, I get to the turnstile, and I could envision this happening before it did. I get to the turnstile, and Ant goes through, walks off. Where's my ticket, Ant? Oh shit! Where's my ticket, Ant? Oh, I've given it to Nathan, my brother. He's already sat up in the stands. And I was just stood there for ages, holding up the whole queue. It's probably the biggest queue in the stadium. Like, it was queuing all the way around to nearly to the away end. And then
did you have to go get the ticket?
Oh, I've got it in my pocket. I've got it in my pocket.
Oh my god, man! Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from bladders and let's talk about leakiness. Anyway, nice segue. The defense, very good. The defense, Dino. I have nightmares currently that we're going to play a back five tomorrow. And Crystal Palace is so freaking limp up front, man. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong and it's going to be a back four. Chat, 4 or 5. Type that in the chat.
I don't know, man. I really don't know where it's going with this. I want a 4 because I think with 3 midfield, it's great. I want a 4-3-3. I think probably Ant will agree with that.
Old man.
But who knows? Because I said he'd go back 5 last game at home. But he didn't, did he? So I don't know what he'll do. He might go back 2 tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows?
They've got no attack. No attack.
We've got to have a go at somebody.
Got one player in midfield. If we don't go with a 4-3-3, I will be really annoyed because we do not need a back 5 against no attackers. Yeah. Literally, they've got nobody. And our midfield is so powerful. Why are we afraid of one decent midfielder? We have to go 4-3-3.
But he hasn't done it away from home at all. Only when we went 10 men.
I'm saying I'll be pissed off if he doesn't.
When Man City went down to 10 men, he did. He went.
That's what I'm saying.
2-1-8.
So he kept
bringing on forwards. I was like, is this man crazy?
He's going to want MGW back in, so he might go 4-2-3-1 because he'll want MGW.
I can't see that. I think
MGW
he'll drop Elanga.
Back?
Yeah, 100%. He's not dropping MG for 2 matches. No way. Emma, don't. I think he'll drop Elanga for Morgan Gibbs-White if he goes back 4. If he goes back 4.
Yeah.
But it's still square pegs and round holes. That's my problem with it. MG-Dub's not a wide player for me. I know you've always gone about it, Dino, innit? He's kind of not a wide player. He should be playing in that 10 role where he can impact the game.
He's not a winger. He could be a wide creative man, but it's not a winger.
I don't know. I am worried. And most of you lot in the chat are saying 4. There's a few 5s in there. I don't know, man. Even Bob's
sorry, Wolby. Can MGW not adapt to being a right-sided 8? Is he not talented enough to be able to do that?
A right-sided 8. Talk us through this right-sided 8.
Yeah, it's what I said last week. I agree with that on this when you mentioned it a couple of weeks back. Yeah. Actually, because he does track back and he's got the energy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he put that great tackle in last game. So
brilliant.
He can do it.
Yeah, but over one tackle, seriously. Yeah, because I got to tell you this. I did get a weird message from Dino saying, you know what? You know that weird formation that Ant put together with MGW? Now, he goes, I think he's kind of right. I don't know if I was meant to share that, Dino.
You've been dubbed in, Dino.
That's all right. There's lots of secrets coming out tonight.
All the secrets, man. All the closets are being opened right now, yeah. And I was like, no, he can't. And he's like, yeah, but you saw that tackle. And I'm like, it's one tackle, man. It's what even Crypto's put a good tackle in his.
He does track back a lot. He does track back a lot.
He does work hard.
He wouldn't be a bad 8, actually. Worth a punt. Because it will solve the problem of not having to have a number 10. That'd solve a massive problem.
I don't think it would work. I don't think it would work because he would
finished at the moment. The modern game, number 10s are finished.
Correct.
No, not for me. Yeah. Not for me.
The modern way of playing it is Odegaard, isn't it? Is that wide 8? That's the modern way of doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe Morgan Gibbs-White is just overrated as a player, and Dominguez is a better playmaker.
Ooh, crypto.
Morgan Gibbs-White.
The pin out there, crypto.
Morgan Gibbs-White, right 8. Dominguez left 8. Sangare 6.
Dominguez is injured, you bellend.
Well, yeah, they say that, but
I'm just saying that is the way forward.
A picture of him with the Palace sign behind it. So I don't know.
He's not necessarily injured anyway.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. He did sound a little wishy-washy in the pre-match, didn't he? Just like
he always says, right? Danilo's out for a while. Such is out for a while. The other guy, well, we'll have to see.
Yeah, and also I think he called him Nico on purpose because maybe he was talking about Williams. Because when he said Nico, I was like, when the hell did Nico Williams get injured against Brentford? I was like, is that the game last season? I was just getting so confused. I was like, oh yeah, Nicholas Dominguez. Oh, he's called Nico now, is he? And it's like,
I call him Nico.
Oh, you and him are like this now, yeah?
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Oh, well, he's Ez's boy now, isn't it? But I don't know, man. I think Morgan Gibbs-White, if you put him in the midfield, he would still drift forward and you end up with a 2-man midfield. He'd still drift. Yeah, I know what you're saying. He tracks back, but I don't want him as the person tracking back. I still want, if we all were complaining that there felt like a disconnect between the attack and the midfield, although I thought the midfield played really well, there wasn't the transition into creating chances. Surely you want Morgan Gibbs-White in that hole.
The right 8 doesn't have to track all the way back. You've got your left 8 and you've got your 6 for that. The right 8 can stay more upfield.
That's right 8, man.
If you're gonna
it's called nowadays because there's no 10, so it's a right 8.
If you're going to bring Morgan Gibbs-White in and say Sangare and Dominguez play, does that mean you're dropping Mangala? Because he was arguably one of the best players last game.
Listen, Ben, Mr. Crypto. I'm quite happy to drop Morgan Gibbs-White and have Mangala in there, but we're trying to shoehorn MGW in, aren't we, for his sake? Yeah.
Well, it's not just for his sake. It's when he's at his creative best, he's good, but he's just on a real big bad run at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah. And Dino, we were missing creativity, weren't we?
Yeah,
we were missing creativity. So
yeah. And then the other thing Cooper mentioned, and as Mark shouted out there, this was confusing as well because the week before he was talking about Danilo being close, and then he said Danilo's the furthest away from fitness now, but he's back out training. Now I can't confirm to you guys if he's running in diagonal lines or if it's still straight line running yet. That wasn't divulged, right? But I'm just getting so confused by these messages. I mean, if he's trying to confuse the opponents, he's confused me, which I know isn't hard, but he's doing a damn good job about it. But it gets frustrating after a while, man. I just want to know who's fit and who's not. I'm sure it's not going to impact Roy Hodgson that much, boys.
They
all do it though, They all do it. Every other fan channel I watch, they all complain about the same thing. Why don't we tell us who's fit? Why did you say he's not fit? And then they all do it, all managers. I don't know why, but they do. Well, I do know why, but I think it's irrelevant.
Talking about running diagonally, I saw Mr. Cooper. This is for the chat because you guys know. I saw Mr. Cooper and Andy Reid running across the road this morning in front of my car, just as I went to take my missus to work, just directly outside. So if you want Cooper's autograph or you want to go meet him, 7:30 outside the training ground, just at the end of the road, then to go for a run. There you go.
Does Reedy still got it in his legs?
Yeah, because I saw Reedy first, and then I went, fucking hell, it's Cooper as well. I didn't realise Cooper exercised like that, but yeah, it's 30 this morning.
I bet there was plenty of belly wobbling with them too.
No, Cooper's quite lean, actually.
I tell you what, Andy Reid doesn't have it in his arms because I wanted him to sign my shirt above the Awani text, and he put it on the bloody number.
You're never going to let that go, are you? You're never going to let that go. Just depicts it out, man. Just depicts it.
Not like Ant's shirt done properly by the man himself.
How I won that, I don't know. But Dino, I'm a little disappointed in you. Why didn't you stop the car, pull out the portable FFTV mic out the boot, yeah, and start asking them these questions, man. Is Domingos actually sick, ill, or are you blagging us? You know, can Danilo run in diagonal lines yet?
Listen,
what are you thinking?
mate,
Say, when
my
you saw
age, I'm never going to catch up with them.
You didn't put that on the accelerator.
I'm never going to catch up with them two. They were off.
Could you imagine Twitter running into you?
I'd have been in the car with the window open. Steve!
We should talk about the match, really. You know, people have tuned in, I'm sure, to hear.
Yeah. Sorry, we're derailing. You're right. Let's get professional. Let's get professional. Okay, so your 3 consensus seems to be a back 4. The chat consensus seems to be a back 4. The vote on the goalkeeper was 61% keep Turner in, 29% Vlachodimos, 1% Horvath, and 10% Hennessy. You weirdos. So let's move on into the midfield. We touched on it slightly. But Mangala, he's even
before we do that, can we just say?
Can we in a segue? What?
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say, we've said a back 4. We've not said who we think is going to be in it because obviously we have issues.
Okay, not a bad point. Not a bad point. Go on then. Start us off.
You start off.
Is Aina fit?
We don't know. We don't know.
This way. I'll tell you what. Let's put it this way. If Aina's fit, right? If Aina's fit, it's got to be Aurier, Bolly, Murillo and Aina. If not, you swap Aina for Toffolo. That's it for me.
Mm-hmm. What do you do, Dino?
Same.
Ready? Crypto?
Yeah, I do the same. I'm guessing everybody knows, but obviously Niakate is suspended. I wouldn't put Worrell or McKenna back in. So yeah, it'd have to be. I think Toffolo. To be fair to Toffolo, he had a good game, and also obviously he got the assist against Brentford. It was an excellent cross onto Dominguez's head. So yeah, if Aina's injured, I'd start Toffolo.
Best cross already, you know.
Just very quickly, Brett. Yeah, if you want to renew it, !member. It's in the chat there for you now. Thank you, 007. If you need to renew your membership, feel free to do so. It's only 99p. Don't forget, we'll have the watch along tomorrow. So anyone who's not going to the game, you can, of course, see all the goals as they go in on the watch along. And very quickly, just a reminder, we are doing some work with Sky tomorrow, Sky TV, for the pre-match build-up. So if anyone's going to the Forest Palace match tomorrow, drop FFTV a quick WhatsApp. And if you want to get your asses on TV on Sky, send us a quick message and we'll see if we can hook something up for you guys. So, yeah, the WhatsApp is !WhatsApp. That should give you the number in the chat there as well. Anything? Go on, man.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say, Chris has put an interesting point in the chat. If we're going to go attacking, do you start Montiel? Because obviously
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Attacking.
Exactly what I'd change. I was impressed with Montiel against Man City. I think people were too harsh on him. I think we're very reactionary at the moment as a fan base. Montiel, oh, he's crap. One bad game, get rid. Yeah. Toffolo hasn't played in donkeys, has a good half hour. Toffolo's the best left back since Stuart Pearce now. It's like we're too
Turner as well.
Turner as well. Yeah. He's got
out. Yeah,
exactly. I think it's too reactionary. I just think like
football fans.
That's not like FFTV, is it, to be reactionary?
I know I'm being a complete hypocrite here, but I am noticing it. I'm blaming the chat. I'm blaming you lot in the chat now. There's just too much like small performance suddenly means he's had a string of amazing performances. For me, you just need to I would like to see a string of successive performances before I'm going to judge and say, yeah, he's the one. Like Einar, for example. I think he's now had a sustained amount of games. Like if you ask the chat now, who's better, Einar or Toffolo? I guarantee you 20% will say Toffolo now. I will guarantee you that.
Einar or Lodi?
No, Lodi's still better. Brandon, with the £2 again, with Niakate on a ban, will we get some Felipe? No chance, bro. No chance. I think give up with Felipe right now. If he comes back, he comes back. It's going to be a pleasant surprise. Yeah, we're doing some work with our boys at Sky. NSI. We're just name dropping now. We're name dropping. Let me do that. Look, there are people, a lot of saying Einar. Let's put this in a quick poll. I am interested. And be honest when you vote. And if you are reactionary, all for you. That's fine. But who is better, Tuffalo or Aina? That's what I want to know right now. I want to know what the crowd think.
But how many of our players have consistently good games? There's not many. Aina might be one, but
Bolly.
Okay, Bolly, but there's lots that don't. I mean, you could say, Morgan Gibbs White, Worrell, McKenna. You could argue that Taiwo hasn't had a good game every game. There's also a lot of people in there who start, and it turns out there's better people than them sat on the bench.
Not everybody has good games all the time, though, do they? Even the
No,
top.
that's what I think is good.
Haaland's, De Bruyne's,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it is good to freshen it up once in a while.
Yeah, but you do still have players who have bad games. I'm just saying, you still do have players who have bad games, but their bad game is a 7 or a 6.5 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? There's like their level doesn't dip to a 3 or a 4 out of 10. And I think that's where I'd put Einar right now. I haven't seen him have below a 6 out of 10.
It's one of I was saying to Andy the other day, he's probably one of our best players at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But apparently not everyone in the chat does.
Kudos to the recruitment team, because I'd never heard of the guy, but on a 3, it's outstanding.
Last season, who at about the same point last season was our player of the year so far after 7 games? Can you remember? Ours. Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Look what happened to him.
Yeah. And then Aurier, me.
Aina maybe probably be sold in the
That
January.
Was kind of non-footballing reasons, though, wasn't it, Dino, to be fair?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Who knows? Well, 90... Gone, Ben.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I noticed Aina and Owani were picked today to play for Nigeria international team.
That's not good.
That's not good.
Not good.
Can we pretend Owani's got an injury?
Yeah.
That's what worries me this season, him getting injured. That's really worries me.
Why?
1 year, it just changed our season, I think, because I don't think either backup is good enough.
You know what, Dino? If he got injured in, say, December, do you think we might go out in January and get a proper striker? I don't mean Taiwo's not a proper striker. I mean,
we do need 2 quality strikers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 strikers, but we need 2 Premier League quality strikers.
I don't know. I think
we're wrong, but I'm still waiting for Ward. I've not obviously seen enough of.
It's not just that Origi. You lot were waxing lyrical about Origi. I feel like the Origi wax lyrical bandcamp has died down a bit. Good to see you as well, Harvey. But like, you're shaking your head, Ant. Origi not for you?
Never was for me. He came on for Liverpool and scored a couple of vital goals in the 90th minute when he had his 2-minute substitutions. That ain't a footballer. If you watched him in Italy, that ain't a football. No, not for me. Not for me.
I think the striker position and arguably the winger position is
weak.
Other positions where there's not people competing for it.
Yeah.
There's kind of 1 or 2 people you could pick, and the rest are basically crap.
But we can't go against the work that the recruitment team did and Mr. Marinakis in the summer window. Because we were miles off a balanced squad last season, miles off. We got a lot in, but they were in the right positions for me.
But Dino, how long did you give them to gel then? Because I think was there 8 new players? How long?
It does seem to be a bit of a Cooper excuse, doesn't it? Because he went about gelling today on his pre-match, but
he did.
They need to gel as quick as possible. But for them to gel, he's got to play a consistent side. It's no use trying to gel 25 people. Gel 11 first.
Spot on.
So pick the same 11.
But we haven't seen some of our, Santos. Is it Omar Bamadeli? They were due to be, star signings, and we haven't even seen them.
They'll just have to wait, Crypto. They'll just have to wait. If he's on about gelling, he needs to gel that first 11.
Dominguez is injured, whether Santos gets in this weekend, especially considering the pressure that we've had from Chelsea in the last week.
There's been a phone call. There's been a phone call apparently as well from Chelsea. But having said that, Dino, in a way, I agree with what you're saying about the recruitment. I would argue back a little bit that I think they recruited for a narrow formation, like a 5-3-1-1 almost, in the way they did it with some backup wingers. But what's the point I'm making here? At the moment, is Cooper... I can't phrase it any more cleaner than this. I'm just going to say it. Is he chucking shit against the fan and seeing what sticks at the moment? And I'm not calling them shit. I'm just using that phrase because if you're saying he doesn't know his settled 11, is he just experimenting to see what sticks?
I didn't say he doesn't know his settled 11. I said he needs to, if he wants them to gel, he's got to play them on a regular basis together, 11. And then everybody else will just have to wait for an injury or a chance. That's it. That's how you gel them together.
Let me rephrase.
I disagree with you throwing shit at the fan this season. Last season, yes. When we came up, we just signed everybody we could with no real strategy. You know, different positions, so many different positions. It was ridiculous. And then this summer's definitely been a bit more sustainable in terms of good age, good profile, and fit what he's trying to do in formation.
I'm not saying he's throwing shit to the fan. Let me rephrase the question.
Oh, hang on. It's shit at the wall. It's shit at the wall. I don't know where this shit at the fan is.
I don't know. I've never thrown out either, to be honest. But let me rephrase the question. Does he know his best 11 yet? Or do you think he has an idea of his best 11 yet? Let me check out you, Crypto. Let me check out you.
He probably thinks he does, but I've got a feeling that within his best 11 is Worrell and McKenna. And they're crap.
Really?
They're not Premier. I think he's dropped them after bad performances, but I think that is his favourite 11.
No way.
I honestly do. I think he's got favourite players: Morgan Gibbs-White, Worrell, McKenna, Yates. I think if there wasn't some uproar from the fans, he would play them consistently.
And you're shaking your head.
Yeah, no chance. I'd be surprised, unless it's desperate, I'd be surprised if we see McKenna again for definite. We may see Worrell, but I don't think there's any chance of seeing McKenna again this season. No, sorry about Crypto. I can't agree with you on that. I don't think that they're in his favourites. I mean, even Yatesy, I don't think he's the number one choice in midfield. I think it's probably Mangala in that position rather than Yates.
But if you think back to the start of the season, Cooper's presumably the person choosing the captain, the assistant captain. He must be choosing them in his mind, thinking these are going to play pretty consistently.
No, you know what I think it is? You know what I think it is, Ben? You know what I think it is? I think that was last season, and it's very difficult to take a captaincy off a player. It causes a really big furore. And my view on captains anyway. It doesn't matter one iota who the captain is. It's totally immaterial who the captain is. So I think it's just a case of they're Nottingham boys, and for optics, it looks good to have Nottingham boys as the captain and the vice captain. I don't think that's going to make him pick them, in my opinion.
I think it's a decent point you made back there, Crypto, because it would cause, if you flip what Ant said around, it could cause issues. Like, you're not playing your captain now. You've dropped Worrell. Why did you pick him in the first place? You could argue maybe he should have been a bit more kind of ballsy about it, you know, but then who was the captain? Is he maybe going to change the captain midway through the season? I know you barely ever see that in teams and stuff, but was he trying to see who was coming in still potentially? I don't know. It's an interesting one. Shaq, I was thinking about you this afternoon. I hope you're well, bro, and thank you for the £3. And that's going to Ant's alcoholic fund there. Appreciate it, bro. Emma's saying he still has his favorites, though. I get what Crypto's saying, and I do kind of agree. He does still have favorites, but you can't argue, Ben, that he's dropped his favorites. I'll give you Yates because Yates is injured. Do you think if Yates is fully fit, he would come back into the team?
I think he'd come on more as a sub. But I think the thing is, we don't know if Cooper's making these decisions based on his own, because if we look at last season, then, you know, I feel like he's making these decisions now based on pressure, whether that's from the fans, whether that's from Marinakis. Last season, Worrell, McKenna, etc., they didn't play great then either. And he didn't drop them much. Cook, yeah. So I feel like now there must be some type of pressure. That's why he's changed formation, etc. I don't think it's all Cooper. It could be the assistant managers. It could be Marinakis. It could be the fans. I don't think it's solely Cooper's decision to all of a sudden change everything up. I could be wrong.
It's a fair point.
Does
Dino,
anybody give a shit who
just
the captain is?
no, I don't.
Anybody give a shit?
You know what? I only care that it's not a striker or a goalkeeper. I like it to be the CDM or a centre back. That's just for me. Just before I ask Dino to address this question, 60 likes, over 200 of you in here. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. And I've been hearing this a lot, Dino. And Michael's saying it. All managers have favourite. We haven't won since Worrell and Yates haven't played. I specifically hear this more about Yates than I do about Worrell. What is your take on this one, Dino? And chat, what's your take on this as well? Do people buy into this or not?
No, it's just coincidence. If we were missing, if we had De Bruyne in the side and he was missing, then there'd be an argument for it. But Yates is a decent player. Worrell's a decent player now, in my opinion. But there's still better picks in front of them. And they're playing, but they're just not played together much.
Yeah.
So I think it's all completely coincidence.
There was a stat a few years ago at Liverpool where like Gerrard missed about 7 games or something, and Liverpool went on a winning run. And they were saying, well, Liverpool win more games without Gerrard than they do with him. So would you just drop Gerrard?
Yeah. I mean, look at Harry Kane and Spurs. You can't say that Spurs were crap the last 7 years because Harry Kane played for them. If anything, it's the opposite. But now he's gone. They're second in the Premier League. So it swings and roundabouts. What I want to know is, what does Cooper say to the team at half time? Because every single time we come out at half time, the other team always looks way more up for it than we do. I feel like Cooper needs to gel the team. It's not about the players gelling. He needs to get them gelling, because when they come out after half time, they never look up for it, to me.
And it's happened a lot, hasn't it, Crypto? There's been a lot of times, end of last season, where we would concede the goals straight after half time. We kind of saw it against Brentford. We saw it against Burnley, where we looked top notch in the first half. And either we were gassing, or it's something being said or not addressed, or they're ignoring what's being said. There was a lot of people telling me at the grounds that they could see Cooper ushering some players back in the second half. I think it was Callum Hudson-Odoi, if I remember rightly, in the last game, rather than trying to get them forward. So it's one of these things. Maybe he's still got to figure out how to change his own mentality as well when it comes to progressing into attacking football, because you're going to go into your comfort zone, aren't you? Mic drop.
Yeah, go on, and you take it.
I forgot what you were saying.
Let's move on.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, let's move on.
I'll tell you an interesting point. Morgan Gibbs-White said that the hardest person he's played against is Callum Hudson-Odoi. He said in one of the interviews I watched today that he's the best player he's ever played against. So maybe he'll link up with Cho. Who knows?
Maybe. Quick shout out to Emma. Congratulations on winning the Yates signed shirt. Just favor Em, if you get a second, because I like to pass on the pictures back to Football Prizes. So if you want, you don't mind taking a picture and just either WhatsApping it to us or send it to us on Twitter, we'll get it over to Football Prizes. What?
Can you bring that back up, that comment from Emma?
I thought you wanted another toilet thing. Enough toilet break.
It arrived yesterday, Emma. I want to wear it though. So why aren't you wearing it?
She's framing it.
It's framed, is it? Oh,
no,
she's framing it. She's framing
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And just a quick shout out. There is currently a framed signed, I think it's LED as well, Steve Cooper framed one with pictures of him and everything on Football Prizes. So Dino's already bought about 30 tickets for it.
27 tickets being there, Dino.
Yeah, Dino really wants it. But if you wanna grab the tickets for that, !prize in the chat. That will bring you the link. In fact, I'll just very quickly before we move on, let me just bring it up and show you guys what it looks like. This is porn for Dino, I know, but here you go, Dino. Have a little look-see at that one. That's the current prize there. So signed frame, Steve Cooper, signed as well, framed. Looks pretty good, to be honest. Looks pretty good. So if you want that exclamation mark prize, we'll put the link for it as well in the chat for you guys. Okay, can we move on? Let's bring it back to Crystal Palace a bit here, boys.
I was going to say to Emma, when you've got it framed, can you take a photo of you standing next to it and send it to us in? We'd like to see that.
It's like, is it like Twilight Zone here?
It's like that film Deja Vu. You seen that film Deja Vu?
All right.
Am I imagining
you
this?
You can tell what's happened.
It's amazing. That's Deja Vu, I suppose.
Yeah.
I keep thinking.
All right, cheers,
all
Em.
these thoughts
Thanks.
of my own. Thank you.
Let's
Now,
move
what
on
really
for Emma
messes up
starts
if
been a
Em does
harassment
that
charging
again.
against.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, swiftly moving. Swiftly moving on. Palace tomorrow, 5:30. Crypto, realistically, sorry, let's go to Ant, and he's all gone embarrassed. We'll start kicking off with Ant. How are you seeing this game going? What are you seeing? He's on delay. How do you see this panning out? Are you as confident as the Palace boys are unconfident?
So, what year is it? Who's the president?
President.
I'm very.
What country?
I'm very confident. Why would I not be confident? We're going down there. We've got fantastic players in our side. Crystal Palace are absolutely decimated with injuries to their better players. We should be able to take them on. And it all depends on the team that comes out, the team sheet that comes out, and the formation we play and whether we've got the ball to go and do it. If all those things line up correctly, there's no reason whatsoever we shouldn't be able to beat Crystal Palace tomorrow, even at Sellers Park. Yeah, and that's true. Mark, 3-3. That's 3-3.
Mark,
3 draws, 3 wins.
No, I'm sorry. I've purposely not mentioned that stat so people don't say jinxerine. What I will say, though, is that Ant has now guaranteed you guys the win from what he's just said there. So remember that come 7:30 tomorrow night and get your scores in. Yeah, I can see a few of you checking in.
I've gone for 2-1. I've gone for 2-1 because we always seem to let a goal in, don't we? So if we let a goal in to win, we've got to score at least 2. See? Always thinking.
Clever GCSE maths right there. Dino, are you gonna put the 35-yard curse on this one?
No, I'm not going to predict any. I'm going to think. I think we can win 1-0, but I'm not going to predict who's going to score because that would be ridiculous. The first time in my life I've got that right.
Let's do it. Go on, give us your goal scorer.
Big T.
Great. T. That's Taiwo not scoring till next season now. Brilliant. Can you say like Chris Wood or something?
Sorry, I didn't get it. Yeah, Origi. Origi hat trick.
Great. We need Origi in the African Cup of Nations, man.
Listen, Wood came on and scored against Man City.
We're going to win 1-0 with an Origi hat trick.
Yeah. Friday night, bud.
Okay. All right, you're going 1-0. All right. Yeah. Ben, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-0 as well. I think we can beat them. I think we played well against Brentford, and I think we would have won if we'd taken some more of the chances in the first 30 minutes or so. It would have been a pretty easy match. If I'm gonna guess the goal scorer, I'd like to see Sangare score. Or potentially Morgan Gibbs-White, because that'll fill him full of confidence.
He needs one.
If he comes on and scores, then he'll probably get back to his best pretty quickly.
Joseph going 1-1 with the £2 donation. Thanks so much, Joseph, for the £2. I've got to say, I kind of agree with him. I think no, seriously, for 2 reasons. One, if Forest win, then if Forest lose or draw, you can't blame me, yeah, because you can't. If Forest draw, I'm right, and if Forest win, I'm happy. So I'm going 1-1. Oh, apparently Dino went 1-1 on the predictor. Mark's been outing him out here.
I probably did, Mark, but that was the predictor. What you don't realise is I do the predictor well in advance. So I don't forget, because I know there's a week I'm going to forget. Anyway, talking about the predictor, they were on a sequence, aren't they? So I picked up on today's predictor, aren't they? Like
they drew a loss tomorrow.
Drawn, lost, won, drawn. Oh no, it's the other way around, isn't it? They're due a loss, aren't they?
Yeah, they're loss, draw, win, loss, draw, win. So win was their last one. Yeah. We do go technical on the predictor. It's like
all right, cut that one off now.
Yeah. Mark, keep an eye on the BS that he's coming with. Mark, the other Mark saying, I don't jinx Wolverine. I'm not jinxing. Very funny. Very funny. What we got? Nikki's in the house. How you doing, Nikki? If we win this, we are fucking laughing. Luton next. That'd be a sexy 6 points in the back. Nikki.
That's a great point.
Nikki, you need to shut up, right? Because don't think I didn't see you in the comments yesterday telling me to, show a bit of humbleness, right? And you're sitting here now saying guaranteed 6 points, Nikki. This is on you now. Because I will tell you, Everton Mike predicted 6-1 Everton against Luton. And what happened there? And he's been getting all kinds of abuse from the Luton fans. I didn't know there was more than 2 of them. But yeah, mate, Nikki, also, everyone remember what Nikki said.
Also, what would the feeling be like here and in the chat if we lost those 2 games? Palace and
Cooper out.
It would go very quickly the wrong way, wouldn't it? Yeah. And that's not being fickle, but Luton, man, we've got to be able to beat them.
Yeah.
But with Burnley, that was touch and go, wasn't it? Brentford, Burnley,
literally touch and go for that second one, Dino. Yeah, good choice of words there. And that handball there is disallowed. Red Dog saying, I think we lose. Big pressure for Luton game. Red Dog, man. Red Dog, are you showing some stuff there between the shorts, man, on that pit? I mean, tuck it in a little, man. And Dino just let it sat out, man. Seriously. Brandon with yet another £2, you absolute legend. Calling 3-0 right now. Forest is special. Back him. That's my boy, Brandon. Thank you so much for the £2. Oh man, Mark is doing his full due diligence, man. He's calling you all out on the predictor league. DNA saying a nailed on draw. I want to know if Nikki. Yeah, I thought Nikki was.
Listen, my predictor league one was done when Eze was fit. Before I knew Eze was injured.
Right.
This is the problem. We're doing it too early. That's why I'm not doing very well.
Sharky saying we'll finish the weekend between 9th and 15th. Depends on results. Thank you, Sharky. That's really in depth. You really must have cracked the calculator there, man. Great work as always, Sharky. Great work.
Pinpoint.
Exactly. And what's Jolly Ollie saying? What are you talking about, dudes? We're gonna smash them.
Jolly Ollie.
That's Jolly Ollie right there. That's Jolly
Ollie's also just written that Worrell's going to score a hat trick. Unless it's in his own goal, then I don't think that's going to happen.
Does Johnny even know who we're playing or what planet we're on at the minute? But
exactly.
I bought him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Palace game feels a bit like the Burnley game with expectations. This is what I'm saying. Colin, you're spot on. I'm just saying, remember, we still have only won 1 game. We've won our 1 game away from home this season already, yeah? I'm just a little worried. Remember, the thing is, they're all down, Ben, but they beat Man U last weekend. And I'm saying we didn't.
Man United are crap. I mean,
why didn't we beat them? Why didn't we beat them then?
VAR. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Great answer. Great answer.
Man United are not in good form at the moment. I'm not sure how many people watched the stream earlier with Twist, but it's just weekly delusion of how much of a Ten Hag fanboy he is. They're awful.
Embarrassing.
I mean, what are they? Are they 10th or 9th or 10th? I wouldn't be surprised in the next few weeks if they go into the second half of the table because they're not good. And people who want to keep Ten Hag, I don't understand it.
Absolutely.
No, me neither. And you said something there. You said that Man U aren't on good form. It's nothing to do with form. They're just shit.
Yeah, just crap.
So why didn't we beat them?
VAR. But it's funny because everybody who's a Man United fan at our age now, the only reason they're a Man United fan is because they were a Glory supporter 20 years ago.
Correct.
And now they have to suffer the consequences of supporting a team who were good for a few years. And now they're just in a long line of shit. basically.
Have you moved? You know, you've just moved house. Have you moved to the Temple of Doom or something? you're really on one tonight.
I like it. I like it when he cusses my
I
knee
do.
down.
I like it.
Yeah. So saying this now, I will hold my hands up, right? Hughes is a prick. I think, can we all agree on that? Yeah, that albino looking prick. Yeah. I did call him out in the last match and he fucking scored. And I am going to call him out again. That is an absolute pile of tosh, that sheep shagging prick, right? And I'll do it. And I don't see any jinxereens, because if you don't agree with what I just said, then check what color your blood is, seriously. But yeah, I fully agree with you there, Sai, as well. All right. This is derailed. This is derailed quick. Let's wrap it up there. We've got the watch along tomorrow.
Before we go, can I just
happy birthday, Charlie?
Big shout out to FFTV Grits, aka Charlie. You've seen Charlie on various videos. It's his 18th birthday tomorrow, so I just want to say happy birthday, Charlie, mate.
Happy birthday.
Charlie, Uncle Ant will buy you your first drink. I'm sure you've not had one before.
Don't forget is it worth mentioning the vote as well again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah.
Yes. Guys, if you could do me a favor, if you're still here, God knows why you are, but if you are still here, please do take a second, drop a quick vote. I'll put the link again in the chat there. If you don't mind clicking on to that, voting for Best Podcast, Premier League, Forest Fan TV, for Beat the Drop. We will love you forever. Oh, also one final thing, and this one's important. As you know, we're going to be doing an interview with Stuart Pearce. Those tickets sold out like that. I wasn't lying. They sold out overnight. What we are going to do to make you guys feel part of it, or those of you who couldn't get the tickets, is we're going to put a community post up there. And if there's anything you would like to ask Stuart Pearce, could you put it in the community tab? I'll put it straight on after this stream. Get those in quickly, though, because I need to get them over to Stuart by tomorrow night. So the post will go up tonight. Make sure you put your questions in for Stuart Pearce. If you put your name or your YouTube thing, we'll try and add that to it and say it was asked by you. So get those questions in straight after the stream. So homework for you guys, go vote for us on the Football Content Awards and then get your questions in to Stuart Pearce. We'll see you on the watch along tomorrow. And come on, you.
Oh, sorry. Can I ask a question?